Hi Eva, your thread on the For Love of Cards group, looking for a deck for your daughter. Now I have all them decks and I just thought I'd do something useful with my collection and just show you in live time each of them. I'll put this down so you can see the cards. I'll start with your Rider-Waite cards. I agree with you, I'm not a huge fan of Rider-Waite standards myself. The art just doesn't appeal to me, but there's so many varieties. Like, I'm just going to pull out three. This is the Universal, the Centennial, and one that's Trippin Waite. And I mean, you don't need to see much of them. They're pretty basic, pretty what's expected. And then the Centennial are a little bit prettier. This comes in a little tin and goes into your handbag. You can get quite a number of decks, obviously, that go into your handbag and a little tin, but it's quite handy. It's not, it's a different deck. Much better colouring, much more appealing. That's the back. Obviously my decks are all over the place, but it's quite handy being able to toss that in a little bag and go unnoticed, to go anywhere. Now the Trippin Waite, you're looking at all the same cards, but definitely more appealing to the young'uns and me. It's my age group. But there's so many different variations that you might even find one that's exactly the one. I'll just do a few more cards. That's a cool fool. Is it the High Priestess? Yep. Empress, I'm looking at it all backwards. Actually, it's probably coming up there all reversed too. Now, one that was on your most interested, the Starman. This is just the standard edition. Look, with the Rider-Waite, there's so much information that to learn, you only have to open the internet, and it's all Rider-Waite based. In fact, all these decks except the Mary L are Rider-Waite, really. Now the Starman, there's the booklet. It's chunky enough, but you'll see what I mean with the cards when other people have been saying that it's not that easy to pick out the meanings. I mean, that one is, actually, that's one of the better ones. The Empress isn't too bad either. And the glaring colours, the colours are, like, yeah, they're beautiful art, but I think if you're reading for an hour straight, your eyes are going to start hurting on this deck. And just to pick out the meanings, it's a great deck if you know what you're reading, but I think that for a starter deck, it's not a great choice. Although it is an awesome deck to have in a collection because it just looks great. It does. That's the backs. The other deck you're looking at was Mary L. Now, Mary L is beautiful. It really is. This is my Schiffer edition. Nice big box. Really great guidebook. Lots of information. But because it's reversed, you're going to get a reverse picture. Sorry. It is very well done. And they're beautiful cards. But they are Thoth. Now I'm pronouncing it Thoth. But the cards are stunning. I'm holding them. I should put my cards in better order when I finish. That's an amazing picture. I mean, yeah, nobody's going to complain if someone gave you these as a gift. And there's nothing wrong with learning Thoth straight up. Actually, it took me a couple of years to realise that there was more than one system. The Rider-Waite's actually quite a basic system, but the information available makes it a good choice for a first deck. And like I said, there's nothing wrong with jumping in and reading Thoth straight up. Maybe that's what you'd like to do, something different to Mum. I know whatever I'm doing, my kids want to do the opposite. Okay, the next one, you had actually the Everyday Enchantment and Next World. I'll pull them up together. Got these here. In all fairness, that's the indie guidebook, and which I've already shown you. I really haven't had a look at the mass edition one, but I presume it'll be chunkier. And there's nothing wrong with this. I like it. I love it. And I do love this deck. Don't get me wrong. I really do. I just feel, personally, it was just hell-bent on having to be diverse. And, I mean, that's exactly what she is. That's not a complaint. That's exactly what the artist had intended. And she bought that. These cards are huge, too. I believe the mass-produced cards would be about the same size as the Mary L's. Which... yeah, they're not a real good card to pull out in public and start shuffling because they're a bit clumsy. And saying that, I'll say the same thing about Everyday Enchantment, which I believe are the same size cards as the Mary L. They're not a great deal. They are chunky, but like being a mass-produced deck, you can trim the edges off. I'll show you a few more of the... It is a great choice. They're all good choices. Love that one. She uses the wheelchair a few... oh no, it's... yeah, now I'm getting the two mixed up. The Everyday Enchantment has a wheelchair come up a few times too. It's the Devil card. Okay. Won't make this go forever. I'll just pull out a few of the Everyday Enchantments. I'll show you the Everyday Enchantment booklet first. Now, this is actually one of my favourite booklets because it opens with, I say, here we are, the Magician. You've got, discusses the image, and then it gives you a story, which is the characters. Did I even show that before? Yeah, about the card, the actual picture, the story, and then the meaning. I'll just read a little bit about the story in this Magician. Now, this will be from the character's own words. What an achievement. It's amazing what we can do when we put our mind to it. I never doubted I could transform this barren, unloved space into something alive and blooming. All gardeners are magicians to some degree. It just depends how much focused intent we invest. If we have a vision of how marvellous the world could be and we're prepared determinedly to bring it about, then anything's possible, even probable. Just as there's a prospective oak inside every acorn, beauty is potentially hidden in every square of asphalt. All we need to do is dig deep until we reveal it. Like, there's more, it keeps going. But that's actually one of the, each of the characters have a story. The Queen of Coins. Some say a woman's work is never done, and I say good. I enjoy growing, sewing, cooking, childcare, all the nurturing, creative aspects of our lives. Where will we be without the creations of females, baking and brewing, sewing and reaping? Actually, that might be my least favourite card. I'm not a fan of work. And, oops. Nice backs. And I'll just... I do admit having a personal bias to this deck, but we're still diverse, perfectly diverse actually. On Poppy Palin's her YouTube channel, which she's only just being noticed, getting some attention now, or doing some work on it, because she's not internet savvy. She's going through the cards one by one and discussing them, her creation, and so that makes that a little bit more fun to study as well. It's a beautiful death card. It's one of my favourite death cards ever, and I really love this Emperor. But it is very me. It is very me. I did notice also that they were talking about, where I put it, Everyday Witch. A few people commented on that. I was a bit surprised actually. I'd forgotten about it. It's not a bad deck. It's not a bad book. Awesome. It's another one you won't need to go find a bunch of books for. And it still has the information, and naturally it's a book, it's got information, hasn't it? I like the little quotes at the bottom. Oh, that's... So I'm a bit all over the place, and the book's also got it's got places for notes where she can put her own notes. Very good. And the cards are actually a lot more manageable than Everyday Enchantment and Next World. They're a much better size for shuffling, normal size hands. I find maybe the imagery is a little cartoony. I mean, that's the card backs. I mean, it's still beautiful, but I just find them a little more youthful. When you're at 19, you're an adult. There's nothing wrong with it. It is a beautiful deck. And it is an easy one to learn on. The images make sense. I think, look, it's taken me 400 decks, and I do have a soul deck. I've got some beautiful decks, but it probably took me a good 400 decks to find the soul deck. This one's fun. Okay, so I won't make this too long because I'm just going to upload it so you can have a look. I did notice someone mentioned the Elias Tarot or something like that. That's the one I don't have. But a lot of the others I should somewhere. Yeah, that can be a subject of conversation. Okay, look, anything, I think believe it was Barbara Moore that it, oh no, Deborah Blake. Sorry. Yeah, I was going to say anything by Barbara Moore, but a club book by Barbara Moore is a good investment. Anyway, that's it. I'll leave it with that and I'll pack these away. All right, see ya.